Okay, guys, this is Moshe coming to you from Israel in the Galilee, where I lived for many years. The war update. The big thing is we went into that Shifa hospital, underneath which there's a lot of Hamas command centers underground and things like this. There was, there was some shooting with Hamas soldiers from the hospital entrances and inside, and we're going through the hospital. There's 6 floors. They arrested some Hamas soldiers dressed up as civilians. We found uniforms they threw away. We got a lot of intelligence information, and then underground there and in other places, we're getting a lot of intelligence information. We're capturing weapons, missiles, things like this. It was a big breakthrough for us. It was good. And that's just the first of many hospitals many. There's, I think, 2 or 3 more that they have to go in underground in. And we're doing it. We're knocking out entrances every day. It's a slow, steady process. There's still some fighting, but it seems to be diminished. The Hamas people are complaining. They're saying, well, the Israeli soldiers don't want to get out of their tanks. It appears that the tanks are more resilient than I thought they were at the beginning. That's because Hamas was lying. They showed pictures of a tank they blew up. In one case, it wasn't even an Israeli tank. It was a Ukraine or Russian tank or Afghani tank or something like that. And they said they blew it up in Gaza. They're absolutely resorting to lying at this point. Iran did say that they were going to not let the occupation, that's Israel in their parlance, get a victory over this, but they didn't specify what they're going to do. Maybe they're going to sink the 70 plus warships out here. I don't know what they're going to do. You got to remember, Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran, the Houthis, all of them got a great big mouth, and they don't have a lot of delivery. Okay? Although Hamas did show us very graphically that they're vicious, but that doesn't mean they're militarily smart. Vicious is one thing. Smart is different. The internet telephone provider is running out of fuel or ran out of fuel, and it's going to shut down, so they're going to lose their communications again. Humanitarian aid still comes into the south. The hospitals are still running around saying they're out of fuel, and then we got pictures and videos of them operating with all the lights on. It's just they're trying to play the human rights game. The protesters in Washington and other places are starting to get more violent. This is going to keep increasing. It's going to keep stepping up. Let me think. Turkey is postponing its final approval on Sweden joining NATO to punish somebody. I don't know who they're punishing. Turkey is organizing a flotilla of ships from many nations. Assumptively, they're going to be Muslim and other nations as well, to come to Israel and break open the Gaza port, which is a little silly. What is he going to do with the 70 warships? I don't believe he's coming with warships. He might. That's basically attacking Israel. And the American fleet is probably not going to like that. Now, this guy doesn't get along with NATO, and he doesn't get along with Turkey, with Russia. I don't know who he gets along with. He doesn't get along with Egypt. This guy's got a long list of enemies. Jordan is starting to turn against us. That's Ammon, Edom, and Moab in the Bible, and they will turn against us, and they will get slammed into the ground. And not Ammon. Ammon will submit to us, surrender to us, and they'll be fine. But Central and South Jordan are going to go down. They're going to bite the dust. I don't know exactly when, but it's not a long way off. Bible prophecy always comes true. So they're going to stop trading energy for water with Israel. So I don't know what they're going to do for water. Maybe they're going to buy a few 100,000 bottles of Evian every week. I don't know what they're going to do. I'm not worried about them. I know their enemy's waiting to happen, so they're not particularly much concern to me. Let's see. So the situation with Jordan is either the king of Jordan is either going through the motions to show the other, Muslim nations, hey, look, I'm doing my part, or he means it. Probably more like making an outward show or something. He said any other nation would have gotten sanctions put on them for what Israel did. Yeah, he's ignoring what they did to Israel. Why doesn't he talk about that? The fact that putting these underground bunkers and command centers under hospitals is a war crime. Who's going to do anything to Hamas? They're after Israel. They're all S-bots. They're after Israel. They're not after Hamas. Hezbollah keeps it up with a lot of anti-tank missiles or rockets, really shoulder-fired, aimed at our observation posts, which is kind of silly. And we knocked their observation posts down, too. But, we have drones. They have drones. You just use drones to see what's going on. You can use helicopters, airplanes. So I guess what we do is we do what they do, rebuild the observation posts. My guess is, unless we shoot them down when they do it, we've had our jets fly into Lebanon airspace and bomb Hezbollah facilities. So you have to admit there's definitely an escalation in the war with Hezbollah, The Houthis keep trying to send missiles and they keep getting knocked down. They threaten to blow our warships up in the Red Sea and blah, 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 blah. The real problem with the Houthis is if they start attacking Saudi Arabia, which they have done in the past and they can do, and they can cause apparently significant damage to Saudi Arabia, which can fight back, but they don't like to fight. So they like to take their lumps and stay around to play again another day. They don't like to fight back. Biden is saying that, Israel's going to proceed and destroy Hamas. Now, nobody's telling us what destroy Hamas means. Okay, Beulah, go. We don't know what it means. I mean, does that mean they take their missiles and guns and stuff away and leave them there to play again another day? Probably. Two-state solution Biden. So he's getting pressure from the Democratic Party. There's factions in there that want to see this war stopped. It's all about Iran. 70-something warships are not here to fight Hamas and Hezbollah. Let's get real. Okay? Come on. It's Iran. And Iran knows it, and America knows it. And they, the attacks on the American bases are continuing every day. They're not backing off. They're not stopping. America hasn't taken any major retaliatory action at this point, but we don't know if they will. They probably will. But obviously Biden is scared. He's politically divided with factors of Republicans and Democrats opposing what he's doing with America. And, we don't know what will happen. We're still not seeing a lot of, let's call it the soft fruit, the peaches, nectarines, plums, stuff like that we're not seeing in the stores. And I understand there are volunteers going into the farmland in the south and picking the harvest. So maybe we'll start seeing this stuff show up. Some things there's a lot of apples, pears, bananas, plentiful. Most other things is easy to find. I mean, the stores have got plenty of it. 40, 50 different kinds of breads, all kinds of. Some juices you don't see. You see most juices, but not some. Meat, you get whatever you want, anything. Cheese, millions of cheeses, milk and cream and this, and all that stuff. Cakes, pastries, junk food, all you want. So there just seems to be a shortage. I haven't really looked to see if there's shortages of wine or beer, but probably not. I don't know. I could look in the supermarkets online and see, but I'm pretty sure it's moving. For many people in Israel, life is going on as per normal. No issues, We don't have problems. I don't know. That's about all I could think to tell you. So there still is fighting, and Hamas, the amount of rockets they're launching is not. I think it shrank a little bit again. They're still launching, but not barrages, more or less, just onesie-twosies. And they're still flying the rockets, but I'd say we just went down again in the amount of rockets. So pretty soon you'll start seeing, maybe 2 rockets a day, you skip a day, and then another 1 or 2, and then none. That's how I think it's going to happen. There's different makeshift hospitals down there. Different countries, I think France sent something up, Turkey setting something up, different nations, and they're putting them in just inside Egypt, right by the crossing. And Israel's trying hard to control who gets in there. They're using facial recognition now, so the Hamas guys can't dress up and act like they're sick and get into Egypt very easily. It's probably happening, but not very easily. The vastness of the tunnel network is amazing on military generals. The sophistication and the elaborate labyrinth of 300 miles of tunnels is amazing. We take a very, very small amount of casualties every day, but I'm quite sad that we do, and usually 2 or so soldiers get killed every day, and that's really saddening. It's very bad. They say they've picked up intel on the hostages through this Shifra hospital deal. Apparently, at some point in time, going back to October 7th, the hostages were inside the hospital. And they've got what they say is good intel on that. And they're not sharing it, and why should they? I don't think they should share it. And that's basically what's going on. It's a slow-moving freight train, but it's pounding away at them. We're hitting them from the air, from the sea, which is missiles and, mostly missiles. Our Navy boats don't. Some have artillery pieces, but it's, I think, mostly missiles. They might be shooting artillery, but we don't have that. I don't believe the ships have 5-inch guns. It's smaller, probably 3 inches. I'm not sure, but they're not big ones. But they could be using them. And from the air, and then we're using artillery, mobile artillery, tanks, towed artillery, all kinds of artillery. And I guess the military is getting better and better at it every day. We've taken over landmark locations in Gaza and put Israeli flags up there, which breaks the morale and the spirit of them. So it's moving. Let me see if I'm getting anything in the chat. I haven't seen anything come up. Why did my question get erased? There's a word filter with about 3,500 words. You probably use the word that's in the word filter. So try again without bad words in the word filter and see what happens. If you didn't use bad words, I don't know what you used. So I didn't erase it. It just never posted because the filter gets it. Okay. So basically, that's what I got for now. And if you want to really follow it, join me on Telegram. Download the app, which is Telegram Messenger. Telegram Messenger. It's a free app. Install it. Send me an email. My email address is at the bottom line of the description box. It's Israel Giving, one word, Israel Giving with the number 7 at the end at gmail.com. Israel Giving with the number 7 at the end at gmail.com. And just put Telegram in the subject header, and I'll send you the invite link, and you click on the invite link, and in 2 or 3 seconds, you're in. It's a great place. It has about 700 million members, and I post all kinds of stuff up there during the day and the night. Must be 100 posts or more some days, so you'll get all the blow by blow. A lot of videos of the fighting and the damage and pictures and all sorts of stuff. That's a pretty good synopsis of what's going on, so I send my shalom to all those who love Yeshua HaMashiach, and I'm out.